Everyone, so a lot of you have been asking me to show you how I layer my hair extensions. Okay, I did a video for you. I'm warning you, okay, this is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. It's kind of, so it's not like I'm just telling you, okay, do this, step 1, step 2, step 3. So I showed you guys the best I could. This is what I do, but I can't, I really strongly suggest you go to a hairstylist for this, because it can get mullety if you don't do it properly, or practice on some like old hair extensions first. I know that when I like started doing hair extensions, I thought, oh, cut layers in your hair. I'll just take one row and just chop off, and then it just ended up being like rows of hair, and it didn't blend well, and it was just not nice. It was just not a good thing. So obviously I've taught myself over the years how to do it. I'm using my mannequin head. Like I said before, I use my mannequin head to do this as well, which is going to be kind of harder for you guys to do, but you can use your friend's hair. Just make sure they pull their hair all the way up into like a bun at the top of their head. But you guys wanted to see it, so I'm just going to show you guys how I do it, and hope you guys like it. If you guys want to see how I layer my hair extensions, then just keep watching. Okay, so this is my lovely mannequin head. I cut all of her hair off so it would be easier for me to use my extensions on her, because I used to style her hair, but ever since I got extensions, I like to style my own hair myself. So right now I'm going to take my hair. I have about 240 grams of hair here. 160 is enough for me. But I like the added thickness of adding more hair. So what I'm just going to do is, I'm going to, as you can see, I've like put extensions and stuff on her hair. I glued them in and practiced, yeah, extensions and stuff. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip in my extensions where I would normally clip them into my hair. Yeah, make sure your hair extensions are straight when you do this too, because it's a lot easier. I'll take the top piece like this, and I'll measure it on my head. So I'll take a look at it where it would sit on my head, and it would sit about right there. And then I see where my top layer is, basically right here. This is my top layer of hair, right? So I don't want to go, since I'm layering my hair, I don't want to go right where this layer is. I want to go a little bit below where this first layer is. I'm going to start about right here. So that's about this much below my first layer, just in case I need to do some more trimming and stuff. So you're going to want to memorize where that line is. Or what you can do is you can take a ruler and measure from your hairline to your top layer, and then you could go from there. But that would be an easier way, just taking a ruler or measuring tape, which sounds funny, but, and I would say my first layer is going to be here. And it's basically taking all the single layers of your hair and taking like a fine piece of hair, like so. And what I do, since I like my hair to be thick at the bottom, I don't like it to be thinner at the bottom, I will kind of disregard the first. So see how I have this layer? This is my first layer that goes on top of my ear. And then I have there's three, and then there's my first weft. So I'm not going to worry about this. I'm not going to cut any of this because I like the thickness of that at the bottom there. So I'm not going to do anything to that. And again, this is not professional, guys. This is just what I do to layer my hair, and I find it works really well. So now I only have like 3 or 4 layers at the top here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hair and I'm going to make sure it's brushed really flat. You don't want them to be turned around and mixed up and stuff like that. That's not going to work. You want them to be brushed out. So you brush them out like this, and then you pull your fingers through it like that, so it's nice and flat. I'm going to take my scissors, and like I did with my front layers, I'm just going to lightly, very, very lightly, okay, and I'm just going to go lightly down the hair shaft. And then I'll have some hair like this. So basically my first layer will be done. See how I have a layer here already? You see it? And it goes through the whole shaft of it, but you can't really see it because it's supposed to blend. That's what it's for. I mean, layering, you don't want it to be all like choppy looking, but you want to see that there's layers in it for curling and everything like that. So I'm just going to take another strip, and this strip's going to be right next to the strip that I just took right here. See the short piece? Basically do the same thing. So I'm just going to brush it out like this. Make sure it's nice and flat, and then I'm going to see where my last layer was. See how short this is compared to this? I don't know if you guys can see. But I'm going to hold that on top of it to be kind of like a guide. And then I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take that hair and I'm going to kind of move this piece out of the way, and it's going to start about here. So, and I like to start with longer layers like I told you guys before, because just in case you know, I cut them too short. I don't want to cut them too short. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take the piece next to it. So yeah, I'm just going to take my next piece. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to start my layers about right here. And I'm going to just open and close. Basically till I get down to the bottom of the hair. So can you guys see? Probably not. You guys can see there's already some layers, which is right here, throughout the hair. And I'll keep doing this through the whole thing. And then if I want some more like noticeable layers, like choppy layers, I'll go through it again and I will layer it again. So sometimes what I'll do is, see how you can see where I have like my shortest layer? I've layered it already, and I have like a short piece right in the middle here. What I sometimes do is I'll put it on the ground and I will cut it to that length. So what I do is I make sure that it's nice and straight. So even though I was layering it on the head, I get a better, a more accurate view like this. So I could see, you know, I've started off here, and I'm going to go with my shortest layer. And now what you're not going to want to do is you're not going to want to cut it straight across like that, because that's just going to make it look like there's steps, and it's going to look fake. You don't want it to look fake. You want it to look natural, like there's natural layers. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors like this, and you're going to start cutting upward. Now this is the shortest layer I want to go to, so I'm going to make sure nothing is longer than that. So you're going to cut it kind of upward, but like on a slant. And then what I usually do is I take it and I'll fold it over, and wherever any of like the like still have hair, I cut it upwards like this. I'm just cutting it straight up so it's not so blunt. You can obviously do it that there's like line of the center over the top layer, and what we do is we're going to blend up into the so what you're going to do is you're going to take this hair, top, and you're going to, where that layer started off, you're just going to blend it with the rest of the hair. And see how you can kind of see, I don't think I can see, but see how you can see where the layer is? And you just want to cut it to kind of blend the bottom. Okay, so all the hair should be layered now. If you put it in a ponytail, see how it like curves in? Because this is all layered here. So if you see any like choppy spots, like I kind of like seeing the layers, like I like to know, like I like to see them. Because if I put my hair is going to be on top, I want it to look like my hair is a layer and then the rest of it is layers. But, so yeah, I like to see this kind of being a little bit on the choppier side, but if you don't, you could just take the pieces that look choppy and just kind of, you know, smooth them out, make them not look so noticeable by just kind of doing that to the ends. And then, just to make sure that all the layers straight, like make sure they all, you know, are one length. And I'm going to tilt it upside down. And I'm just going to start cutting into it. Just because I want it to be kind of uneven. I don't want it to have like a blunt cut. So the ends aren't completely straight and it blends with the hair. So I'm going to do that for each one. See how there's a piece here that's kind of sticking out, so I'm just going to go through it. And I'm going to tip it upside down. And I'm just going to take my scissors, and I don't need to go really into it, just all the extra, the really long pieces I'm going to cut into. Just so they're more one length. So when I layer it and everything like that, there's not going to be like longer pieces in that section. So even if, see how it's not all perfectly even, that's okay. I might just do a little bit more on this side, because over at the sides here looks a little bit longer. But again, it doesn't have to be the exact same. You don't want it to be the exact same width, because you don't want it to give it a blunt look. And as you get lower and lower, you'll see that, like, see, you don't need to do anything to this piece, because it's like near the bottom. And the good thing about this is that you'll know what goes where because of the layers. Like the shortest layer is going to be going on the top and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two. Just be very careful when you do this. Don't start cutting too short, and hopefully you'll be okay. So I hope this helped you guys out. I hope you guys found this informative, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!